If you're an expert music producer, you've spent thousands of dollars on gear, but you're still not able to make music a predictable income. And it's been a really, really, really long time, like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15 years. And you're like, why am I not making music a full-time income? This video is going to give you a ton of clarity as to how you're going to be able to set yourself up for success. Now, this isn't going to be a super flashy video. This is not going to be a video where you could watch it and go get clients. However, this will be the video that you watch that will give you the most clarity you've ever had in your entire life. And I guarantee you that. And if not, I'll give you all your money back. That's a joke because the video is free. But I am confident that this video and this training will give you the most amount of clarity you've ever had in your life. I've been around a lot of entrepreneurs in a bunch of different niches, not just in music, right? I'm in the online coaching space, which is a beautiful space. There's a lot of really smart people there. But I've seen what's happened. I think gone are the days are when people are just setting goals that are arbitrary or setting goals that they don't have any meaning to. It used to be I want to hit 10K a month. Then it was maybe 20K a month. Then it was 50K a month. Then it was the magic 100K a month. Dude, if you hit $100,000 a month, right? And by the way, when people talk about those numbers, they're talking about revenue. I've done the same. But that's not including the amount of money you need to save, the amount of money for taxes, expenses, and then actual personal income. That's not what they're talking about. What they're talking about is cash collected into their business. They're not talking about processing fees for your payment processor. And what I've seen happen is a lot of people set these goals and they put their identity to a number. I'm going to hit 100K a month, which is, by the way, dude, I'm not judging anybody who does this. I don't care. Like, this is fine because they're great people. It's not like they're bad people, but they set the goal of, I want to go hit that number, and I am tying my identity and my self-worth to that number for no reason in particular. They do everything they can to get to that number. They hire a team, they spend, they stress, they do a bunch of shit to get to that number. Then they hit that number, and what ends up happening? They have a little bit of fun, they blow money on some cool shit, and then what ends up happening is they're like, okay, I got the cool shit, I got the money, I realize my identity shouldn't be tied to a number. Now I am feeling purposeless, I'm lost, I'm almost depressed, I'm anxiety driven now because I've got team and more expenses, and it's costing me tens of thousands of dollars to actually run this business. And what do they end up doing? Like a lot of people, this is what they end up doing. They fire all their team down to like 1, 2, or 3 people. They strip the whole business down. They make it way more profitable, and then they grow that way. And then they become to a point where they're like, I don't care about the money anymore because they have the money. But for folks like you and me watching this, who we're still trying to grind up to get up there, what would be a great thing to do would be, let's just get clear right here, right now, today, on exactly how much money we need to make to live the life we want. Because we get into business and we get into producing music to live the life we want, not just to chase a number, right? It's what will the money do for you. But if you don't know what you're actually trying to get done in your life, like what you're trying to do and what kind of life you're trying to live, you don't know how much it's going to cost. So without further ado, let's jump into this. So I'm gonna, everything I talk about today, I'm gonna include it in the description. No opt-in, no web page to go to. So this is something I actually include for my clients here in my Music Money Mastery program. But I wanted to also include this here, and so all of this is going to be in the description. So I've got a spreadsheet, I've got a GPT prompt we're going to rock and roll with. And I'm going to walk you through everything. But basically, this is calculating your dream life. So what you're going to do is you're going to take whatever it is you want to, however much money you want to make, or whatever item you want, and you're going to put it as like, how much is it going to cost a month? So let's just start as an example. By the way, I have an example here, but I'm going to go one. Let's say you want to go rent somewhere that costs $3,000 a month, right? Let's say you're single or you don't have kids, like whatever. $3K a month. Okay, cool. You saw how it auto-filled per year. Let's say you want to get a car and the car is $1K a month. Right? See how it does that? So then you just go on and on. Now what you should do is go in excruciating detail with this. Like really go excruciating detail on how much, or like on every little item. And you'll also note that I put savings, I put your ads, I put team, and I put tech. This is just for me. And in fact, yeah, like let's just leave it like that. And then there's going to be a chat GPT prompt, but we're going to walk into that in a second. So let me show you this example. Okay. So this is an example from one of my clients. Okay. I'm not going to mention their name, but I did this with them on a call, and I was like, okay, let's walk through exactly what you want to get. So you could see here, the first thing was rent, and I actually hyperlinked it to Zillow, which is where in the United States you can look at like real estate and stuff. So it's like, okay, cool. Like I found my client wanted to live in North Carolina, and my client was like, yeah, like my client doesn't have kids. My client does not have a life partner or a domestic partner or whatever. So my client would be living on their own. And they were like, I want a apartment that'd be like $3,000 a month, 2 bedrooms, like 1 bedroom for my bedroom. Another would be like my studio. I'm like, okay, cool. Boom. So we found it. Okay. So I hyperlinked it there. That way my client can look at it every day. Then look, groceries, miscellaneous random stuff. They said they wanted a 2025 Lexus IS. We looked up what the payments would be. We used ChatGPT to help us. It's about $1,000 a month. Insurance, health, restaurants / matcha. They really like matcha. Gym, boxing trainer, like every little thing I could possibly think of. And I'm like, did you miss anything? Is there literally anything else? They're like, no, like this is everything. They really had to stretch and figure out. And I was like, okay, what's the number? So the number came out to $9,244 a month. And what was really interesting was I said to my client, I said, what do you think of that number? What do you think of that number? And my client was like, I feel great about that number because it feels like really achievable. Like it's great. It just doesn't seem like it's a lot of money. And I'm like, I know. That's the best part about this exercise is when you get clarity, you can see that it's not the life you really want to live probably is not as expensive as you want. Now, by the way, I want to distinguish something here. I'm not talking about your quote dream life. Because there's a difference between your dream life and your next level life. I'm talking about next level, meaning the next level for you. My dream life is so expensive that it almost feels too far away. And so I'm like, let me calculate just that next level for me, what that's going to look like. Okay. So here's what we did. And this is how we're going to use chat to help us. So basically, let me zoom in on this so you can see. So we've got our total personal income number, but here's what I wanted to figure out. What I wanted to figure out was how much top line revenue cash collected do I need to collect to make this personal income? And so I said, okay. And actually, I would like to do this. Sum is this number times 12. So I was like, okay. And you know what? Let's do that for all of these. That way I can really see what we've got going on here. So I'm like, okay. How much money do I need to actually hit this number? Or to hit this number? So what I did was, I was like, me personally, I like to save 30%. And I think that that's a really smart way to do it. Now, do you have to save 30%? No, that's I mean, it's your choice. But I save 30% for taxes, profit for my business, because I want to take profit from my business and be like, this is profit. And I save for personal expenses. Then I also accounted for ads. By the way, ROAS is return on ad spend. And I put 3x. You're going to have months that you have a higher. You're going to have months that are lower. But on average, if we can account for a 3x ROAS, which, dude, for me personally, like that's a bad month for me, for sure. So I'm accounting for a kind of a worst case scenario here, like a conservative worst case scenario. Oops. And then we've got team and tech. You might not have a team. Like you don't need a team to get to 30K a month. So you might be at 0. And then for tech, you might be at like 500. You know what I mean? So you can play with these numbers a little bit, but I just put this for my client to be like, this is kind of the, this would be like the most. So I was like, okay, so here's what we did. So now I'm going to take this prompt here from here. I'm going to take it, I'm going to copy it, and we're going to paste it into chat. Now you'll see there's a fill in the blank. Now I'm not going to read this whole thing to you, but it says, I've figured out how much personal income I want to be making per month, which is, and then fill in your number. So we're going to fill in my client's number. Boom. And I think it's also here. Okay. Now I put in the rest of this already for you. First of all, I want to save 30% of my top line revenue. So the first thing I want to calculate is like, say, I did the dictate thing. That's why there's like is and likes in there and stuff. But you could take that out. Is saving 30%. I also am going to be spending money on ads, and I'm going to have a 3x return on ad spend. I want to assume a 3x return on ad spend. Yeah, I said that twice. And then for miscellaneous expenses for my business, that'll be another $1,500. So essentially what I want you to figure out is from my personal income, how much money top line do I need? 30%, and just that. Boom, and then I hit that. And then let's see what happens. Step 1. Okay, so it's like doing a bunch of calculations now, but it's really cool. See what it ends up coming out with. Cool. So it went, chat went and did some very real math here. So the final answer is $29,300 a month. Interesting. It was just right on the dot. But let's do this. Let's say, do you also want me to break this down to how much you'd actually need to spend on ads per month? I would say yes. I would say give me a breakdown line by line of how much I will spend. Oh, I forgot I can talk to it. Give me a line by line breakdown of how much money I would be saving, I'd be spending on ads and on my miscellaneous expenses. Let's see if it's all good. Yeah, you know what's funny? That's interesting because I did this exercise earlier right here and it came out with this exact number, but now it's kind of like rounding up. See? See, that's kind of rounding up. Okay, so 38,790. It's pretty much right there. No, but you get the picture, right? Personal income at 9,243. Oh, okay. So it'd be like $1. Look at how different that is. That's crazy. Yeah. So basically, it gives us the exact breakdown of however much it is. The last time I did it, it was a little bit different, but it's pretty much the same. Okay. So cool. That's pretty much it. That's all you have to do. It's a really, really simple exercise because then what you're going to see is you're going to realize, oh my gosh, like this is really doable. This is doable, and I'm quite excited about it. Right. So, really quick, like I said, I'm going to leave this in the description of this video with the prompt. I'm going to also, make it easier for you. I'll put the prompt in the description of the YouTube video as well. And that'll make this a lot easier. All right. Hope you got some value from this video, and I'll see you on the next one.